around the world. The Star Your Name will be recorded in book form in the U.S. Copyright Office. Visit starregistry.com or call 800-282-3333.
Offer not valid in all states or where prohibited by law. Loans are subject to lender approval. See website for details.
Honey, the credit card bill came, and we're maxed out.
Maxed out cards, rent is due. We just need some extra cash to help us get by.
Maybe we should go to 27cash.com.
With our bad credit?
27cash.com is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with any type of credit get up to $5,000, and cash can hit our bank account as soon as tomorrow.
When you need extra cash, go to 27cash.com. That's 27cash.com. 27cash.com.
WNSR.
Michael Fabiano here, and if you want even more excitement on game day, it's time to get on Prize Picks, the best way to win big on fantasy sports. Here's how it works. Just pick 2 to 6 players and choose more or less on their stats. If you get them right, you can win up to 25 times your cash. It's quick and easy to make your picks, and with fast and safe deposits and withdrawals, Prize Picks is the place to play this season. Prize Picks has awesome weekly promotions, and they're the only daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy, keeping you in the game even if one of your players goes down. Watch your entry update in real time and continue the fun by making picks on second half and fourth quarter stats. And right now, when you go to prizepicks.com/primetime and use code PRIMETIME, Prize Picks is matching your first deposit up to $100. That's prizepicks.com/primetime with code PRIMETIME for a 100% deposit match. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for details.
Listen, you can't handle the truth. It's about to go off. Live from the WNSR Strike and Spare studios.
Just a bit outside.
It's the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Show me the money!
Call or text now. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Call us or send us a text on the WNSR text line. 615-844-5600. 615-844-5600. Call or text. Same number.
Alrighty then.
Now, the McFarland Show with Darren and Justin.
And a good Wednesday afternoon to you, and we are live. We're back. We're in the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. We are the McFarlands, Darren and Justin. Here with you, DJ Damon is alongside, and boy, do we have a lot to get to. Justin, how we doing?
I'm warm. So, that's about all you can ask for.
That's good.
On a day where we are colder today than we've been in this city since 1996.
No kidding.
That was the last time we were in 1 to 2 degree territory. And then, minus, this is not wind chill, minus 11 in places like Manchester and Tullahoma for actual temperatures. Not counting the wind chill, which is way colder than that. So, and we're not done yet. We still got a little bit more to go. Coming up tomorrow night, they're talking about some freezing rain, sleet, and snow this time. Not as much, maybe about an inch, but enough to do some damage coming up tomorrow night. But overall, glad to be here. Glad to have my car intact. Nothing happened to it. And a lot of people under the sound of my voice cannot say the same. A lot of cars left on the side of the road up and down the middle of Tennessee highway and byways over the last couple of days.
Oh, yeah. I saw them on the way in. The main roads are totally fine. It's just as everybody's experienced. If you have been able to, or if you have had to get out and about, it's just really the side roads.
The side roads
still a hot mess.
Yeah.
But the main roads are, for my travels were just fine.
Yeah.
24 was just fine.
Yeah.
And actually manageable today.
Yes.
I actually, my blood pressure was completely normal.
Because there's less people out there.
I didn't even need to take ibuprofen when I was on it. I didn't have a headache.
Yeah.
I didn't blow my horn. I wasn't screaming at anything.
Yes. All those people stayed at the house.
It was actually pleasant.
Yes.
I felt like I was at a spa driving in on 24 today. It just felt very relaxing.
Woosah.
If I could just get that every day, that would just be a miracle. It won't happen.
Well, you have to move somewhere else for that. If you want to stay where you are, then no. That comes with the territory.
You're
Sorry.
Right. We got a lot to get into. By the way, we're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. If you go to our YouTube page and just go to YouTube and on the search, hit type in WNSR Live, one word, it'll take you to our page, and you can also message us on there. So we've missed your text. We're still addressing that. It's not back, and we can coordinate with you on our YouTube page. So feel free to do that if you would like.
Absolutely.
Interact with the show. You can also tweet at us. A lot of you are still tweeting at us, which is great, or Xing at us, or reposting, or whatever the heck their terminology is. Today, we can interact with you as well. So hope everybody is safe and sound. A little bit quieter this week than last week. Last week was quite the sports kaboom. I mean, it was Earthquake City left and right, from Bill Belichick getting shown the door, of course, nicely, right? The word amicable, right? That's the nice version. Pete Carroll out in Seattle, but yet nice again. Stay on as an advisor, whatever. Mike Vrabel, we know. Nick Saban says, I'm out of here.
Yep.
Peace out. I'm going to go retire. A lot of things went on. This week, a little bit quieter. The playoffs, we had wild card weekend. So a lot to get in there. But we'll start on the home front. Titans are conducting their interviews.
Yes.
Okay. This is what we know so far. Ravens defensive coordinator Mike McDonald, his interview is complete with the Titans, or that process is completed. Antonio Pierce, he's not associated with anybody right now. I think everybody's been wondering what the heck the Raiders are doing, but Antonio Pierce is out there. He has completed his interview with the Titans. Mike Kafka, I don't know how you say it, Giants OC, also interview complete. Brian Callahan was the first. His interview is complete. He is the Bengals OC, and apparently, according to Dan Graziano of ESPN, the Titans are asking or requesting for a second interview with Brian Callahan. Which is interesting. They are, as Amy Adams Strunk and as Rand Carthon said, they are casting a wide net.
They certainly are.
Seems like they are interviewing anybody who has a first name and a last name, and they're a coach in the NFL.
It is, some of the names that have popped up have been very surprising for me. The one that really surprised me was the OC of the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah.
That came up out of nowhere. Because
Thomas Brown?
Brown, former Georgia running back, had a cup of coffee in the NFL, was apparently an assistant under Sean McVay out there in Los Angeles, which is why I think he's getting this interview, not based on the work he's done in Carolina, which he's only been there a year, but I think it's the Sean McVay family tree that's gathering some intrigue from him. So I think that's why they wanted to at least talk to him. Also, the Philadelphia Eagles offensive coordinator also got a mention, which, you know, they're talking to people who are not on anybody else's board, which I found interesting.
It seems like if they keep Sirianni, Ryan Johnson's going to get fired. Like it seems like they're going to reset the deck on their coordinators.
There's a lot of people who think Dan Campbell's going to get fired too, and he's getting interviews.
Who?
Not Dan Campbell, Lord.
Did I miss something?
No.
That would be the all-time dumbest thing ever in Detroit Lions history.
The DC and Dallas.
Dan Quinn.
Dan Quinn. Excuse me.
Okay.
Dan Quinn.
Because I was looking around the room.
No.
Going, what?
No.
Dan
Quinn.
Campbell.
Dan Quinn.
Okay.
Wrong Dan.
All right.
Dan Quinn. There's rumors that he could be fired too, and he's still getting interviews.
Yeah.
And mentions.
Mike McCarthy is set to sit down with the Joneses this week. I don't know where that's going.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. We'll get to that later.
Okay.
There's a lot to say there.
Right. I know. Okay.
We can get to that later.
Do we want to start with the Aaron Glenn?
So,
Lions defensive coordinator?
One of the people,
former player.
One of the people getting mentioned is Aaron Glenn. Now, Aaron Glenn has already done his interview with the Titans. Now, Aaron Glenn.
Yes.
Yeah, he's one of the people who's done an interview. I saw him under the completed list. You didn't see that?
Did they put that out?
I thought I saw that tweeted out somewhere.
haven't seen
he was. I thought I saw him under the interview complete list. Unless I'm mistaken.
Those names that I just read were what came from them. I'm not going out social media.
That came from the Titans
that came from the Titans.
As interview complete.
Interview complete.
Okay, maybe not then. Maybe it's later this week or next week.
I know he's on their list, but I have not seen where they have completed. Again, I only those names right there. Those 4 were what they put out.
Those are the only 4 they put out?
That's the only 4 that I've seen that they put out.
All right, let me scroll back through. Maybe
unless you can show me something I've missed.
Maybe and see. There we go. Mike McDonald, the Kafka, Callahan. Yeah, you're right. Just those 4. Okay, my bad. So I know they plan on talking to Aaron Glenn. I know he's been one of the people they have listed, or at least has been heavily mentioned as the person he would like to talk to. They would like to talk to in regards to their head coaching position. Aaron Glenn's name has been mentioned with 4 other teams as well. Now, before the Lions defeated the Rams over the weekend, the local media there in Detroit was able to ask Aaron Glenn about these jobs that he's being offered. Now, keep in mind, Aaron Glenn is the defensive coordinator for the Lions. He's 51 years old. He played 15 seasons in the National Football League. If you are a football fan of a certain era, there is no way in the world you would have missed Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn was a nice player in his day, a defensive back, played for a number of teams, number 12 overall pick out of Texas A&M. So back then it wasn't the SEC. But a guy who's played a lot of big-time football, played for the Texans, the Cowboys, the Jaguars, and the Saints in his career. Also went to the Pro Bowl a few times. Very good player. Not a great player, but really good
He
at
didn't
one
play
point.
for the Packers?
I don't see that listed. Not to say he didn't. I don't see that listed as teams he played for. Okay. Texans, Cowboys, Jaguars, and Saints, according to CBS. Okay. He could have played for the Packers. Maybe they just didn't list that. Anyway, he was asked about several teams that he's going to be talking with. And listen now, now, Darren, before we hear this clip, and it's about 90 seconds long, what is the thing? What has been the word, okay, that Amy Adams, what is the word of the year from Amy Adams?
I'm not saying it. You're not going to get me to say it.
But you know what the word is.
I'm done with that word.
You know what the word is.
They need to be done with that word.
You know what the word is, okay?
I hate that
So
word.
who's making this hire, Darren? Who's going to hire this head coach?
They have now made me hate that word.
Okay, but who's hiring this head coach now, and what's their thought and philosophy about that? You know they are all about this particular term. Collaboration, cooperation, overall vision. We listened to Rand Carthen last week. He said Amy's vision of collaboration, right? Okay.
Sure.
Here's Aaron Glenn speaking to the Detroit media last week.
About an interview request. I really am. And, man, I do not want it to sound like coach speak. But I try to focus on the main thing for this team, for this organization, because this is a big deal for us. And to be able to go out there and beat this team, which is a good team, is huge. So I will be honest. I'm going to be honest with you. Man, I'm really, really focused on, like, how we're going to play defensively against this team. And then as a whole, right, as an overall team, how do we make sure we complement each other and go out there and try to win this game? Because we're in the tournament, and we all know it. It doesn't matter. You just get in the tournament. We're at where we're at. You know, I've always learned that on the Bill Parcells. Just get in the freaking tournament, and anything can happen after that. And we're in it, and we're ready to go.
Will you take all those interviews?
Say it again?
Will you take all 4 of those?
I'll take them all. I mean, yeah. The number one thing I think is important is, man, just the collaboration with the GM and the owner and making sure that that vision, that collective vision is the same. Because once that's intact and you keep, all three of you guys are saying, old women are saying the same thing, that feeds down to the staff, then feeds down to the players. And, man, they just hear the same vision over and over again. And you talk about culture. Culture is about people. And you bring the right people in, you're going to have the right culture.
In terms of the
So
somebody's been doing their homework.
Someone's been doing their homework. You hear what that man just said?
He's not just been thinking about the playoffs.
You hear what that man just said? And real quick, Darren, before you chime in, I just want to point out one thing. He said, all three of you guys, then paused and caught himself and said, or women, or woman. Because, by the way, the person he works for there ultimately in Detroit is also a woman. Miss Ford, who owns the Detroit Lions outright, one of the female owners in the National Football League, along with Amy Adams-Strunk here in Nashville and a few others around the league. They're not the only two. There's a few others around the league. He was very quick to correct himself there. He has been doing homework, and he is speaking the language. So when people are out here talking about, well, Aaron Glenn's a strong candidate, which those reports are out there from various media outlets, Aaron Glenn's a strong candidate for the Titans job. Keep in mind, this organization has not hired a non-NFL player to be the head coach since 1990. Every single head coach for the Titans Oilers organization since 1990 has been a former NFL player. Aaron Glenn checks that box big time. He wasn't just a kind of a player. He was like a veteran player. Okay, 15 years in the National Football League. Players coach for sure. Fiery, highly experienced, and now he's talking the language about vision and collaboration and being on the same page with the GM and the owner.
Well, somebody's been doing more than just preparing for playoff teams.
I'm just saying.
Well.
I'm just saying. So when we hear, and a lot of people getting hung up, because when we first talked about this on air, you were talking about stats. And, have you seen the Lion stats compared to the Titan stats and all this other? I'm like, yeah, you know what? The people who are going to do this hire, they don't care nothing about none of that stuff you're talking about. Nothing. What they care about.
Well, clearly, Mike Vrabel's 1 year as a DC.
Listen.
Clearly, they're looking
what
at
they
stats.
care about is what that man just said right there. Because that's the voice they're going to hear in the interview. And that's the kind of answer that is going to be music to their, based on what they've told us in the public anyway, that's the kind of answer that they are looking for when these interviews get going.
Yeah, they need to have like the orchestra pit, like at TPAC,
Yeah.
playing whenever he says that in an interview.
Yes.
They just start, that's the cue to start playing.
On cue.
Yeah.
On their direction.
Man.
And he points and he says collaboration and cooperation between the owner and the GM.
And the head coach.
And we have one vision.
And then that's when they just take off. I mean, the orchestra takes off. They're just playing and playing. And then Amy Adams-Strunk is laughing and Rand Carthon is laughing. And then the three of them are hugging.
Let's think
the orchestra is playing.
Let's think about this now. Let's think about this. We have heard Amy Adams mention that. We've heard Rand Carthon mention that. You know who wasn't on board completely with the whole collaboration kind of thing? And he was to a little bit, was Mike Vrabel. He didn't mention the word collab. Now, he said it a little bit, but he didn't say it with as much fervor as, we know the other two. Yeah, yes, we do know that. I'm just saying, whoever they get in here is going to be singing from that particular songbook. And if you're not singing from that songbook, you're not getting this job.
We are wide open this first hour if you would like to collaborate with us and talk about whatever you want. We're all about collaboration, just like the Titans on this show. 615-844-5600 as you listen to the McFarland Show here on this Wednesday afternoon here on the Strike is Bear Family Fun Center studio.
The traditional first-year anniversary gift is paper.
Yay! Envelopes.
The traditional 10-year anniversary gift is tin or aluminum.
Are there sardines in here?
And the 20-year anniversary gift is the chance to win up to $1 million.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
It's our anniversary, but we thought about what you'd want. The new 20th anniversary Jumbo Bucks instant games from the Tennessee Lottery. Game-changing fun. Please play responsibly.
Have you ever met a single person in your life that enjoys paying taxes? No, no one does. If you can't sleep at night because you have a huge problem with the IRS, I've got some free advice for you. This service is strictly limited to individuals that owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes. And if you qualify, we can guarantee that you won't be writing a big fat check to the IRS, or our services cost you nothing. The first 100 people that call today will get a free tax consultation worth $500. Stop worrying about your IRS problem. We can help you, we promise. Call the tax doctor right now. I mean right now, to learn more.
800-649-0142. 800-649-0142. 800-649-0142. That's 800-649-0142.
We all know that Nashville life can get hectic. In the middle of all the madness that is life, don't forget to take care of yourself. Treat yourself to Nashville's ultimate relaxation experience at Mocara Spa at the Omni Nashville Hotel. With services for men and women, Mocara Spa at the Omni Nashville Hotel is your one-stop shop for full body treatment. Begin your experience in the exquisite relaxation room, then enjoy a full body treatment or even a couple's massage before finishing in the salon. Located on the 4th floor of the Omni Nashville Hotel, Mocara Spa is Nashville's highest quality self-care oasis. To book your experience or gain information on packages, call Mocara Spa today at 615-761-3600. Again, 615-761-3600. Or log on to theomnihotel.com. And with every booking, you'll have free valet parking and rooftop pool access to enjoy the Music City skyline. And through Labor Day, enjoy the 4th floor spa terrace for only $20. Mocara Spa at the Omni Nashville Hotel, 5th Avenue, downtown.
Do you ever feel like gambling is causing financial strain or hurting your relationships? The Gambling Clinic has been helping people who want to change their gambling habits for over 2 decades. With physical clinics and remote online appointments, we're here to help you make informed decisions about your gambling so it doesn't lead to a bigger problem. Visit us at thegamblingclinic.com so we can work together to help you win your life back. This project is funded by the Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services.
This is the Greg Vogue and John Burton Show.
I don't believe Vrabel wants to be a part of this, and so I think Amy Adams Strunk decided, well, it's time to move on. That was a gangster-like move to say, all right, you know what? I don't want to employ somebody that doesn't want to be here. Goodbye. If they have another season like they did this year, he's gone anyway.
He's gone anyway. No, wherever he goes now, he's got 4 to 5 years.
Yes.
Greg Vogue and News Channel 5's John Burton, WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
Titans fans, Preds fans, The McFarland Show has you covered. Give us a call, 615-844-5600. The McFarland Show with Darren and Justin.
Back in the saddle here on this Wednesday afternoon. Hope everybody's been safe and sound. May have another round tomorrow.
Tomorrow night, yeah.
Tomorrow night. Just keep that in mind. 615-844-5600. Before we get to the phones, I do want to say this. This is why this word drives me crazy. Justin. All you have to say, before you come up with this silly catchphrase that you have to say a million times, all you have to say is, look, here's the deal. This is Amy Adams Strunk. Or she can pass it down to the GM or whoever she wants talking for her. But she should probably do it because ultimately this is all about her vision and her decision. And she has the right to do this as an owner. Say, here's the deal. Nobody's going to come in here and run everything. We're not turning over the reins to the head coach to be Bill Belichick, Bill O'Brien, what he had down in Houston. I'm trying to think of the other, Bill Parcells wanted it. We know the famous phrase that he had. The coach that wants to Jeff Fisher. I mean, let's be honest. Jeff Fisher wanted that.
Yes, he did.
The coach that wants to run everything, wants to make all the decisions, have his fingerprints on everything, and basically wants to be head coach and GM.
Most coaches have to work their way up to it. Most don't walk in the door with that demand. Yeah. Most work their way up to that.
And you have every right to say that. Mike Vrabel ain't earned that. He has not earned that in this league.
Well,
he hasn't. Not as a head coach. He just hasn't.
I would agree, but I'm just saying.
Does he have skins on the wall as a player? Yeah. Does he have, good traits? Sure. Has he earned that right? No. I wouldn't turn it over to him. I've said it. I said all season long, his staff underwhelms me greatly. Guess what? Guess who's in full charge of his staff?
He is.
Mike Vrabel. No one told him anything.
Well, to be real, Jeff Fisher deserved it much more as a coach than he did.
100%.
100%, just to be for real.
100%. And guess what?
Just to be real.
It wasn't the right decision.
No, it wasn't.
But you're right. He deserved it more.
If somebody's going to have an argument about it.
So rather than creating this silly catchphrase, just say, hey, here's the deal. You're going to come in, you're going to be the head coach, and we're all going to work together. Ain't nobody getting full control of anything. I'm the only person that has full control of everything because I'm the owner. This is my franchise. I'm running this thing. I'm what is it? The controlling owner, whatever.
Controlling owner, yes.
Whatever your official title is.
That's correct.
The person that comes in here is not getting full control. That's all you have to say. You don't have to come up with this silly catchphrase. Just say, hey, like most organizations, the head coach ain't going to have full power. The head coach is going to be signing up to hire his staff and coach these football players and be winners. That's what his job is.
Well,
it's not to be.
Apparently, they want it deeper than that.
I understand, but Mike Vrabel, that's all you have to say. You don't have to create. How many franchises today have that?
Well, most of them.
Most
of them are operating
That's
way.
what I'm getting at. All the franchises are all collaborating, according to your little catchphrase word. Because really, there is no full control anymore. Belichick was kind of the last one.
Yeah.
O'Brien got run out of town because he was a disaster.
Yeah.
And the others, it didn't work either. So this just in.
John Gruden was kind of doing it.
They just want to operate basically like everybody else is operating.
Yeah.
That's all you got to say. Ain't getting full control.
Apparently, they think it's deeper than that.
Deeper than what?
Deeper than, apparently they don't want the division. Now, maybe, and you know what? This is where it would be helpful if we could talk to Amy a little bit deeper, Miss Amy, about what it is that she's looking for when she says collaboration. Because it's not enough just to say it. Give us some examples, please, madam, about what you're saying about collaboration.
Other than what everybody's basically doing in the league right now. Why is collaboration different than essentially every franchise in the league, what they're doing right now?
Just walk us.
Especially now that Belichick's
I don't care if it's a fictional player. We can make up, like the old Reebok linebacker, Terry Tate. Let's pretend like it's Terry Tate, the office linebacker. Walk us through. If you're evaluating Terry Tate, and you got two guys in a room who are looking at Terry Tate, the office linebacker. You're trying to figure out, should you draft the guy or not? Walk us through what you see as the collaboration here when evaluating Terry Tate here. Like, how do we do that? Like, just give us an example. We don't have to call out a particular player. We don't have to talk about what happened with T.R. Tart. We don't have to do all that. Just make up a name. Make up a player X, player Y. It doesn't matter. Just give us something. Because right now, it's just, we don't, collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
On what?
Right.
What does that even mean?
So I'm saying it's just a catchphrase.
But, it's the language they've been using.
It's a T-shirt. That's all it is.
All right, but real quick before, do you want to do this? Or
no, let's go to the.
You want to go to the phone?
We'll come back to this.
All right,
because I have a theory of where this Aaron Clinton came from, and he's done a good job. Let's go to Eric. Eric, what's up?
Hey guys, let me say this: the Dallas Cowboys are frauds. They are, like John Burton says, a
what?
And they are fool's gold. Okay, I had to say that. Not only that, they kind of remind me like an ex-spouse. You love and you care about them, but you can't trust them. So that's basically my feelings on the Cowboys. But in all seriousness, guys, they were terrible coaching Sunday, and certainly in coaching situations did make adjustments. Dan Quinn's coach, it took a major hit on Sunday. And the players, it was just frustrating to hear the fact that Dak Prescott supposedly bought some luggage or something that said LV on it for Las Vegas, and Michael Parsons talk about how he's going to have a big day. Quit doing all that talking and just show up. That's an indictment on the coaching staff to not let stuff like that get out. It's just ridiculous. And here's what makes it far worse, guys. This is the Green Bay defense that lost in the Monday night game to the New York Giants and Tommy DeVito. They also were in a shootout with the Carolina Panthers. They won, but it was a shootout game with Bryce Young. But here's what's really bad, guys. Also, they had 16 straight wins. They were the only home team in the playoffs that lost, even though they had not lost in like 2 years. But the Green Bay Packers have a better record at AT&T in the playoffs than the Dallas Cowboys do. Dallas has only 1 win. Green Bay in the playoffs has 3. They've got the year when they beat Dak and Zeke in their rookie season this past Sunday, and they won the Super Bowl, beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, and Mike McCarthy was the head coach of the Packers. I think they were all the games on the road. They were a wild card team, but it's just pathetic, guys. So, and that's my end rant on the Cowboys. Now, wanted to talk a little bit also about the Eagles, guys. I tell you what, I'm not saying they quit, but it definitely did not look like they showed up. They didn't play with a lot of enthusiasm, and I thought Troy Aikman hit it like right on the head. They were 0 for 9, and they just gave up on the running game because, guys, when I called in, I said I thought for the Eagles to have a shot at winning, they've got to run the ball. It's looked like they tried it early and gave up. And even Peyton Manning made a comment, which I don't know if I agree with this. I was flipping around and saw the Manning cast when he was with Ray Lewis. He said on that field goal, when the Eagles took the field goal off the board, he said he thought Tampa Bay did that deliberately. And it's like they had no emotion, no effort. And I'm not saying Nick Sirianni's going to get fired, guys, but they have got to make changes on that coaching staff.
Don't think that they're scared in Philadelphia. Okay,
yeah.
They're not afraid to move on from anybody.
Not even a little bit.
You know, the head coach in Jacksonville, he won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I know. And 2 years later, they fired.
2 years later, he's out.
Yeah. And I'm, not to make fun. I mean, I don't care. I guess the coaches, it don't bother me, of course. And they said he couldn't be on the sidelines, but I heard A.J. Brown was in Atlantic City. I don't know if he was looking at the game or not, but as long as it doesn't bother them, it doesn't bother me. But I know probably a lot of Philly fans probably not happy that he was doing that because I guess they want all their football players, to care about as much as they do. But, it is what it is. And also, I'm so happy for Dr. Detroit, Michigan. I'm pulling for the Lions. Go Lions. We'll see what happens this Sunday. But the interesting thing about this round, guys, I think over the last 10 years, they said the number 1 seeds, guys, are 10-10. So there's a possibility we could see an upset in one of those 2 games, but we'll see. Guys, I'll get off and we'll let you get some other callers. Y'all take care, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you, Eric. And Eric deserved that floor
to
rant about his Cowboys because, we know there's real trust issues, as the whole country has with the Dallas Cowboys.
Yes.
Trust. And Lord knows you do as well. And it all played out.
I don't have trust issues. I just already know who they are. To me, it's already a foregone conclusion.
It's amazing. Honestly, okay, so let me just say this.
And I've been saying this all year. I've been very consistent on this. I've not backed up on this 1 inch.
Mm-mm. We're going to review some stuff at 3 o'clock that we did every Wednesday at 3 o'clock all year. So we picked division winners and all the playoff teams, and we'll have a little fun with that for a segment.
Sure.
And yes, you definitely were very down on Dallas. If you'd have told me they could lose, I'd say to Green Bay. I would have said,
yeah.
Sure they could lose. Yeah, it's Dallas. It's the playoffs. Sure they could lose. But if you'd have told me they were just going to get outright embarrassed and just drug through the mud for 4 quarters and never be in it, I would have said there's no way.
Boat raced. On their home turf.
I would have said there's no way. I get it. I get all the ghosts of the past. I get all the not trusting them, every phrase you want to come up with. I get it. There's no way you could have convinced me they would have been outclassed, outworked, outcoached, outplayed, out everything in that game and just not even show up.
That is correct.
There's no way you could have convinced me, which is, again, why we did this all year long. This is the beauty of the NFL. Philadelphia and Dallas, again, as we'll review for most of the season, was right at the top of our top 10. And that's why we do it. It's about, that's why I try to say we're doing this in the moment. That's the point of it. This is the fun part about the NFL. Yeah. It's not about prediction. We don't need to do that every week. We can just predict before the season begins and be done with it. Close up the folder and be done with it. It's about going through the ebbs and flows of an NFL season with them. That's what we did every week.
Yeah.
This folder right here is us going through exactly what coaches and players and fans and media go through every year. Life in the NFL. Philadelphia, 10-1.
Yes.
How many times you had them number one?
1 and 2.
How many times
A
I
lot.
had them one?
A lot.
Right, 1 and 2 in
A lot.
our top 10.
A lot.
And at the end of the season, they were a hot pile of garbage.
One and done.
Hot pile of garbage. Again, not even in the game.
No.
In Tampa.
No.
Not even in the game. Didn't even look interested.
Barely got off the bus.
Barely. I mean, barely.
Yeah.
Dallas and Philadelphia. And Dallas was at home. At least Philadelphia's got a little bit of an excuse. They were on the road. It's hard to win on the road in the NFL, especially in the playoffs. No. Didn't even show up.
No.
So when Eric says, like tiptoeing around Sirianni, do you think anything is like out of, like, I wouldn't trust, if I was Nick Sirianni, I would not be sleeping. I wouldn't even take my clothes to the dry cleaners because I'm not sure I would still have a job by the time they say my clothes, they're done.
Oh, that is
you can
correct.
come get them.
No, you never know
Now,
with them.
That doesn't mean that he is going to get fired.
No.
I'm saying in Philadelphia, you can't trust Andy Reid.
Oh, yeah.
They fired him.
They did.
Okay. That's how he ended up in Kansas City. He was fired.
That is correct.
In Philadelphia.
That is correct.
Doug Peterson won a Super Bowl for that franchise.
He did.
That city has had a lot of losing, a lot of heartbreak.
They have.
In sports.
They have.
And they won the Super Bowl 2 years later. He was fired.
Doesn't go very far.
Sirianni looked this second half of the season, I guess after, what was it? They were 10-1. So after week 12, I think really after he did that explosion at Arrowhead when they won, and he's like, how about them Eagles?
Yeah.
He ended up on a ton of GIFs because of what he did.
Sure.
They turned into they turned into a completely different team.
That is correct.
And just
they were not the same.
It was like, hey, where'd you guys go?
I mean,
hello? Are you?
They couldn't.
Hello?
They could not. They could not get off the mat.
Where's my team?
Could not get off the mat.
Where'd you guys go?
It's bad. It was real bad. You thought they had more. You thought you. I thought they had more to them than that. You keep waiting for the other team to show up because you've seen them, and you keep waiting for them to show up, and then you realize, they aren't coming back, are they?
No.
This is who they are right now.
That's what I realized, and I thought they would. I did. I was like, yeah, they'll beat Tampa. They're still flawed, but they're going to beat Tampa. They're going to beat Tampa.
Sure, they'll beat. No. Wow.
And then it was not long into the game. I'm like, oh, whoa, no, they're not.
Mm.
Like they're the same team.
Yeah.
These last 6 weeks.
Yeah.
It's the same team. They're bad.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield looked like he was at Oklahoma.
Well, that's a whole other thing.
He just did whatever he wanted to.
It's a whole other thing.
They couldn't tackle.
No.
They could not tackle.
Kevin Byard couldn't tackle.
He looked bad.
Well,
bad.
Kevin Byard looked like a fish out of water.
He looked
I didn't
bad.
recognize him.
It was.
We've been watching Kevin Byard for feels like a decade.
It was a woof moment.
I didn't even know who he was. Oof. And it's just like, who is that?
Who's that 31?
What is going on?
Where'd he go?
And, this was like one of the most technically sound players for this franchise ever. And he looked like a shell of himself out there. He looked out of position. He literally looked like, to me, a fish out of water. He looked out of position, like he just second-guessing everything. He just didn't look as fluid and as confident as I know him to be as a player. Maybe it's the scheme. Maybe it's, I don't know. I don't know.
Dallas and Philadelphia's defense, I'm not sure they could have stopped anyone this weekend. I don't think they could have stopped. Dallas's defense looked just as bad.
Well,
Green Bay did whatever they ran it down their throat. Jordan Love, by the way, I tweeted out.
Impressive.
I tweeted out during that game. It's shit, because I've been screaming this for a good while in this market. Like, for the love of God, can we just get a franchise quarterback like everybody else gets? And now Green Bay's gone from Brett Favre,
yes,
to Aaron Rodgers, to now. Like, really? Is this what Jordan Love's going to be the rest of the? What? So they get to go from 1992.
Yeah.
And let's say Jordan Love looks like this the next 10 years. Are you kidding me? So you get a 40-year window, a 35-year window of franchise Hall of Fame quarterbacks? And I'm not putting Jordan Love in with Favre and Rodgers. I'm saying
he's
right
not
now,
quite there yet, but yeah.
He looks really freaking good.
Organizations.
Why do they get that? And this organizations. Here, 25 years of beating our heads against the wall. And Steve McNair is the only one. And
got good running back.
God rest his soul. And you'll never hear like Steve McNair, number one. But I'm talking about like Steve McNair was great in this market. You know,
sure.
It's like I'm not gonna use that example. That's a bad example.
Okay,
Like I'll make people mad.
Let's say pause. Let's go to break.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. 615-844-5600. More of the McFarland Show next.
And now, JB Roofing is reminding motorists to slow down on our roadways, keep an eye out for kids at play, and never text and drive. This message is brought to you by JB Roofing, serving the area for 20 years. For all your residential roofing needs, give the pros a call today at 629-246-7693. 629-246-7693. That's JB Roofing, going the extra mile for safety. They're professionals who care.
We all make resolutions this time of year, and let's face it, most of them won't stick. But here's one that's not only easy to keep, but'll help you feel healthier all year long. Navage. Navage provides quick, drug-free nasal relief by washing saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out of the other nostril. This time of year, when everyone is sick, Navage helps by sucking out germs, bacteria, and viruses trapped in our noses that cause us to feel miserable. And come allergy season, it does the same with dust, pollen, and other allergens. And unlike medications that can take time to help, if they're effective at all, Navage helps treat congestion symptoms in seconds flat, without drugs. This New Year's, resolve to use drug-free Navage to help you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier all year long. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
As the weather gets colder, the NFL offers Stay Hot on FanDuel. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 moneyline bet. That's $150 if your team wins. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action. The app is so easy to use. There's a wide range of betting options, spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. I like putting parlay bets together, hammering the overs, and anytime player touchdown bets always have me on the edge of my seat. So if you're ready to do the same, visit FanDuel.com/win and kick off the NFL season. That's FanDuel.com/win. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
21 plus and present in Kentucky. First online real money wager, only $5 pregame money line wager required. First online real money wager, only $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's a Bill King Show.
Like I've mentioned, I thought Nick had a good 5 years still left in it. This one comes as a complete shock to me. If I sat here and said, I had a feeling, guys, Nick was trending, I'd be lying. That'd be the host trying to act like he knew something he didn't know. Why would I present that to you? I am shocked. I was taken aback by it.
Weekday mornings beginning at 6 on Sports Radio 560 on 95.9 FM.
Five-state forecast. Your exclusive National Sports Radio, WNSR Sky Scan forecast for this afternoon. We'll have plenty of sunshine, milder than it has been. The high temperature 32. Mainly clear tonight, low 16. Cloudy skies Thursday with some rain and snow in the afternoon, high 38. Utilizing the resources of the Weatherbug Network on National Sports Radio, I'm WNSR's meteorologist, Jim Rinaldi.
Sports Radio, WNSR.
The McFarland Show, broadcasting live in Rutherford County on 107.9 FM.
Titans have completed interviews with Mike McDonald, Ravens DC, Antonio Pierce, Mike Kafka, Giants OC, and Brian Callahan, Bengals OC. Now, we played you something of Aaron Glenn. This was this after their win, or was
Before.
This the week leading up to the
The
Rams
week leading
game?
up to.
Okay. I told you, and I sent something that DJ Damon is going to play.
All right.
Now, this is where I think Aaron Glenn may have gotten out. Now, this is in the locker room after the Lions just defeated the Rams 24-23 on, what was this, Saturday night, right? Sunday night. By the way, the ratings for that game were through the roof.
I bet.
It was the most watched over the week. It was most watched in a good. Ratings were unbelievable.
Not hard to understand.
Sunday night for the Lions and the Rams. So here is their head coach, Dan Campbell, after the win in the locker room.
We play next Sunday back here at home, guys. So look, we got the winner of Tampa and Philly, which is tomorrow. We'll be here at 3 o'clock back at Ford Field because you guys earned it. Dude, how electric was it out there? I'm telling you what, it doesn't get any better. It's everything you dream of and then more. All right, that's outstanding work. I got 2 game balls. All right, number one, listen, when you come in 3 years ago, like me and this guy did, and you had a vision and you start working together and you've got an idea how you want to build it and the type of players you're looking for and how you want to go top to bottom, offense, defense, special teams, and you're in fucking lockstep. You're in fucking lockstep. I'm telling you guys, it's a shitty business. It ain't always perfect, but we do a pretty good job, baby. Right? But without this fucking guy right here, man, Brad Holmes.
Lions GM.
Continue on.
Great job. I absolutely love every single person in this room, man. We were intentional on being about grit, all right, and earning it. I love everybody in here, man. We went through darkness and it shaped us, all right? It shaped us for this moment. I love y'all, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Especially this guy, man. Thank you, man. Okay, I'll just say it like this, all right? Hey, you're good enough for Detroit, Jay.
Okay. So the last one was obviously, that was a little shot at the Rams. You're good enough for Detroit, Jared Goff.
Okay.
That was, you see what I mean?
Yes, I do.
Dan Campbell.
Yes.
Giving a game ball to the GM.
Yeah.
And that's where probably, yes, Aaron Glenn's clearly been doing his homework here.
Yeah.
But then, see what I mean? They don't have that collaboration. They don't need a catchphrase.
No, but they didn't use the collaboration
word. They're just saying, hey, we're working together. Man.
Yeah.
Hey, we're working together.
Well,
we have a vision, and we're working together, and we've created this vision with this team.
They used the word intentionality. Like they were intentional.
Lockstep.
And there's nothing wrong with any of that. I do think that there needs to be an agreement, with the kind of people that you're looking for, obviously. I don't think Jeff Fisher and Mike Martz would make a good offensive coordinator head coach combination because they think very differently about offensive football. So no, I'm not sure if that would work out the right way. You do need people who are of like mind if they're going to put a football roster together. I would agree with that. Now, to what degree? Like, does it need a label? Well, apparently the owner of the Titans thinks it does. And she apparently thinks that there has not been a lot of agreement, or, to use her word, collaboration or cooperation or whatever it is, between the head coach and the GM. And whomever she brings in, she has made it very clear, because this is not like she's just stuck on this the last couple of weeks. She's been on this since she fired John Robinson. She's been on this. She's been on this collaboration. Now, the question is, where does she get it? Did another NFL owner hand it to her? Did she hear this in a seminar one day? Did she read a book? I don't know. I don't know. She didn't. I'll tell you where it didn't come from, and that is Bud Adams. I'll tell you that. It didn't come from Daddy. I know that much. So now where does she pick this up, this idea about collaboration and all? I don't know. But she has made it very clear that that's what she wants. And whoever she brings in here is going to have to be singing the tune very akin to what Aaron Glenn was just singing, if you weren't with us earlier, talking about the fact that the GM, the head coach, and the owner all need to be in lockstep in vision. And he didn't say lockstep, I'm saying that. But all need to be under the collaboration with the same vision to move forward here with the kind of football team that they want. And, you know, and that is the kind of thing that Amy Adams, that's the kind of language. So when the reports are out there, well, where is Aaron Glenn? Don't look at the stats, please. If anybody calls them, well, I don't understand why Aaron Glenn got the job. His stats, no. Do not look at the stats. Don't look at any of that. Look at the language. Look at who won the interview. He goes in there and starts singing her song.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, if that's the song she wants to hear, that's who she's gonna hire.
Singing her hits.
Hey, I mean that's who's doing the hiring. That's who's signing the checks. So
know your audience.
Know your audience. Okay, you can't go down to Tuscaloosa talking about Go Big Orange. It's not gonna go well. Not gonna go well.
Probably not going to. No, not probably. You're not getting it.
No, not going to get the job.
Not going
to get the job going down to University of Alabama. You want to be on the new staff at the University of Alabama because you know they're hiring new people. If you go down there dressed like Damon King.
Not getting it.
Probably not going to get the job.
Nope. He'll be right back here the next day.
I'll be singing
producing this show.
Good old Rocky Top.
Yeah, well, you'll be singing it up here.
Right here on our show because it won't be in Tuscaloosa. Eric in Columbia on our YouTube chat says, afternoon, guys. Missed you guys while you were off. Well, we missed everybody, too, including you, Eric. We're glad to be out of the house. In Justin's case, out of the hotel room.
Yeah.
And out here talking to you guys for at least a couple hours a day for the rest of the week. And just remember, tomorrow night, maybe get a little hectic weather-wise again. So just keep that in mind. We'll take our final break, come back, wrap up the first hour next.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
There aren't any cops around. After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
Hey, I can hold my liquor.
I drink and drive all the time.
If you put away some drinks, put away your keys. Fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
Attention business owners. WNSR has some exciting opportunities for your business to thrive in the dynamic world of sports radio advertising. As the proud home of some of your favorite sports teams like the Atlanta Braves, Memphis Grizzlies, and more, we understand the power of sports in bringing people together and creating a passionate community. We believe that your business can become an integral part of this experience, reaching a diverse and engaged audience. Contact the WNSR sales team for an opportunity to discuss how Nashville's sports radio can elevate your brand to new heights. Whether you're interested in a specific sponsorship package or would like a customized solution, we are here to meet your advertising needs. Call 615-844-1039, 615-844-1039, or email saleswnsr@gmail.com. That's saleswnsr@gmail.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-617-0239. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-617-0239. That's 800-617-0239. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
And now, the fine folks at Nick's Construction and Remodeling are on the air reminding motorists to slow down on our roads. Keep an eye out for kids at play and never text and drive. It can wait. This message courtesy of Nick's Construction and Remodeling, serving the area with quality and pride. Call Nick's Construction and Remodeling today at 931-952-9587. 931-952-9587 for all your interior and exterior construction and remodeling needs. That's Nick's Construction and Remodeling. They do it all.
It's the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
I said all day yesterday on the show that you don't hand a microphone to a guy when the season's over to address the crowd if he's coming back.
No,
he's not coming back. So we can stop saying if he doesn't come back. But today,
now you really
let me reiterate, for sure, gone.
Look forward to the ceremony.
Can put that to bed.
The McFarland Show with Darren and Justin on Nashville Sports Radio WNSR.
Welcome back to the Strike and Spare Studios. You're listening to The McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
We'll do a little recap to begin the second hour that we did every Wednesday at 3 o'clock where we did our top 10. We'll have a little fun with that. We'll do that for a segment. Then we'll head east. We'll check in Knoxville and check in with our man Vince Ferrara, find out how they've done. Go over some Tennessee stuff with him.
Mm-hmm.
Probably lead with Dalton Connect last night. Holy moly. That kid's fun to watch. So we'll get into all that and more with our buddy Vinny in the second hour of the program. Monday, late afternoon, early evening, however you want to phrase it. I think it was like 5 o'clock. Puck drop. The Preds were in Vegas to take on the Golden Knights. And I watched that game on the Google and the internet. And Google and internet. I just would check the scores because I couldn't watch it.
Okay. Wasn't available?
No.
Okay.
Xfinity and Bally's, it wasn't working.
Okay.
And I found out quickly on Twitter when I screenshotted the television. It was like, hey, what's up, Bally's? What's up, Xfinity? That there were a whole lot of other people experiencing it. It never came on. So never saw it. Never saw it.
Equipment issues.
I don't know.
Who knows?
Bally's blamed Xfinity. Xfinity blamed Bally's. So it was a finger pointing game. And
okay. Well,
I don't know who was really at fault.
Yeah.
Either way, if you had Xfinity, you didn't get to watch the game Monday.
Okay.
They lost.
But it doesn't sound like you missed a whole lot.
No. But I'll tell you what, they had an incredible comeback win Saturday night against the Islanders.
Yeah. I heard about that. Then I also heard everyone who was an Islanders fan got stuck here after the game.
Is that right?
Yeah. There was several ground stops over at B&A over at Nashville International because of the weather. So
they didn't get out on Sunday?
No. A lot of the Islanders fans got stuck here, after the game. So if you check Twitter about that, there's some stuff out there about Islanders fans not happy.
Oh, wow.
After spending the night at B&A.
Ouch.
Yeah.
By the way, also Philip Forsberg's wife, Erin, announced on social media they are expecting their first child.
Shoots and scores.
How about that?
Hey.
So congratulations to the Forsbergs. That'll do it for hour number one. Thank you. And you, Justin.
That was interesting.
Just going to let that sit right there.
I think we need to go to break on that one.
Just going to let that shoot right there.
We'll come back. We'll do a little recap to begin the second hour. We'll do that next.
.560 AM, 95.9 FM, Brentwood, Nashville, 107.9 FM, Smyrna, Nashville's first 24-hour sports station. WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. The president and congressional leaders meeting this afternoon at the White House, hoping to jumpstart a bipartisan deal on a sweeping spending package that includes border funding and foreign aid, with just days left until a partial government shutdown. ABC's Jay O'Brien says they have a long way to go. ago.
There's been tension between the White House and particularly between House Republicans. There's been this ongoing perception that the White House has kind of drawn this line and in a sense said to House Republicans, play stupid games, win stupid prizes has been their message to House Republicans somewhat consistently. And so if everybody can get on the same page, is something that remains to be seen.
In New York, former President Trump back in court for the second day of the defamation trial against him. Writer E. Jean Carroll testifying, saying Trump defamed her again after another jury found him liable for sexually assaulting her in the 1990s. Americans spent more in December than the month before. Retail sales rose 0.6% last month. This is ABC News.
Give the star in your life the brightest gift in the world. Name a star after them. This is Rocky Moselle with International Star Registry. For $59 and a call to 800-282-3333 or visit starregistry.com, you can name a star for birthdays, weddings, or even memorials. Over 45 years, we have named millions of stars for celebrities and individuals from around the world. The star you name will be recorded in book form in the U.S. Copyright Office. Visit starregistry.com or call 800-282-3333.
Offer not valid in all states or where prohibited by law. Loans are subject to lender approval. See website for details.
Honey, the credit card bill came, and we're maxed out.
Maxed out cards, rent is due. We just need some extra cash to help us get by.
Maybe we should go to 27cash.com.
With our bad credit?
27cash.com is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with any type of credit get up to $5,000, and cash can hit our bank account as soon as tomorrow.
When you need extra cash, go to 27cash.com. That's 27cash.com. 27cash.com.
WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Listen, you can't handle the truth. It's about to go off. Live from the WNSR Strike and Spare studios.
Just a bit outside.
Now back to the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Throw me the money!
Call or text now. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Call us or send us a text on the WNSR text line. 615-844-5600. 615-844-5600. Call or text. Same number.
Alrighty then.
Now the McFarland Show with Darren and Justin.
Second hour here on this Wednesday afternoon. We are live in the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. Darren and Justin alongside. Final hour, DJ Damon is alongside as well. And throughout the course of this entire football season, before they even kicked off that first Thursday night game in Kansas City, when the Chiefs were hosting the Lions, we made our predictions that week. We made our predictions on how the season was going to play out. And then every Wednesday at 3 o'clock, we came up with our top 10. Now, let's review, because we haven't had time to do this. We actually did a top 10 last week going into the playoffs. So it was actually myself, Justin McFarland, and at the time, Intern Alec.
Shout out Intern Alec.
Because Intern Alec, who goes to Michigan State.
Yes.
Huge Motor City Kitties fan.
Yes, he is.
He called in. He had already left. He called in
from Europe
to give his picks, and he was in Europe. You're right.
Yes.
So, in the AFC East, we all took Buffalo. Man, how smart are we? We all took Buffalo.
Recognize that Josh Allen talent.
In the AFC North, I took Baltimore.
Yeah.
You took Cincinnati. Intern Alec took Cincinnati.
Mm.
In the AFC South.
Had an injury happen there.
Boy, How about this one?
In it, AFC South?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A bit of a whip by the panel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yours truly took the Titans. Hilarious.
Oh.
They finished last.
Yeah.
You took Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Intern Alec took Jacksonville.
Yeah.
We were 0 for 3
Yeah.
on the AFC South. AFC West, we all took Kansas City.
Yeah.
And we were winners. So, my 3 wild card teams.
Yes.
Cincinnati. LA Chargers. New York Jets.
Now, this
0 for 3.
This was before the Aaron Rodgers injury, right? Like this was
this
preseason.
is before the season. Yeah, this is before the
Well,
season.
no, Aaron Rodgers got hurt preseason though. So we did this before preseason game 1.
No, Aaron Rodgers got hurt in week 1.
That's right. It was week 1. It was week 1. I'm sorry. You're right.
Like 4 minutes into the game.
You're right. It was week 1.
It was the Monday night game.
Yeah, it was. I'm sorry. You're right. Week 1.
So I went 0 for 3 on my wild card teams. You
Who did I
had
go with?
The Baltimore Ravens.
As a wild card team.
Winner.
Well, they weren't the wild card.
The Tennessee Titans.
No.
And of course, and it worked.
Yeah.
The Pittsburgh Steelers.
Listen. The Pittsburgh Steelers, everybody. And Darren has told me I've done well with the whole picking against the odds thing. All I do is just study the chart, okay? The Steelers, whatever you think about them, just the chart says they haven't had a losing season in 20 years. The chart. It's not me. I don't love the Steelers. It's just what the chart says.
Must be collaborating.
It's just what the
must be collaborating.
Just look at it. It's what the thing says.
Intern Alec had the Jets, the Chargers, and the Browns.
Wow.
So there you go. He got one.
He saw Joe Flacco coming out of nowhere.
Got the Browns. Good for him. So I was the only one that went over in my wild card teams. All right. Over on the NFC side.
Yeah.
In the NFC East, we all took Philadelphia. Losers.
Yeah.
NFC North. You took the Bears.
Yeah. The wrong.
I took the Motor City Kitties.
You did.
Detroit Lions.
Congrats on that.
And intern Alec took Detroit, of course.
He didn't take the Vikings? He took the no.
Nope, he took the Lions. NFC South. Myself and Alec took New Orleans.
Yes. Derek Carr.
You took Tampa.
How about that?
Nice recovery. NFC West, we all took San Francisco. My 3 wildcard teams. Dallas, Giants, Seattle. 2 of 3. Got 1 of 3. You had Dallas.
Yeah.
Seattle. Washington.
Oh.
1 of 3.
Oh.
Alec. Dallas.
Yeah.
Minnesota.
Yeah.
Seattle.
Ah.
So we were the big.
Oh.
No one. Imagine that. No one took Green Bay.
It's an ugly injury there. Jeez.
Can you believe it?
Oh.
No one took the Rams or the Packers? What?
Man.
What?
Well,
again,
we thought they were going the wrong direction there.
This is why we do this stuff. Just think about it.
But it just goes to show how quickly the perception of these teams can change. Back at the beginning of the year, the New York Giants looked like they were coming off of a playoff win this time last year. This time last year, the New York Giants had just won a playoff game. Just won a playoff game.
Yeah.
On the road. Yeah. They went to Minnesota, won a game.
Yep.
And everybody thought, and they had a new coach. And, that last season they signed their new quarterback to a big contract. And we thought, here they come, man.
Yeah.
And, it's hard to see around the curve sometime about who's getting ready to fall off the cliff. I thought the Vikings were getting ready to fall off the cliff.
So did I.
I thought, they were not going to be. Now, I thought the Bears were going to be the team that was going to rise up and kind of supplant them. It turned out to be the Green Bay Packers. My bad. But that was my honest assessment at the time. And the Bears actually didn't end up being as bad as they looked early on. They ended up being, a 7-10 team, which, is not terrible, but it's not great, but it's certainly not, 3-13 or 3-14 or whatever it is. So It just, it's about seeing how the team is set up and seeing around the corner a little bit. And with everybody except for Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is the outlier. Just go with it. It doesn't matter what it looks like. Just go with it. Because they've got whatever they've got going on up there.
Well, I remember my exact words were, Kenny Pickett, I do not trust.
Gotcha.
Of course, I did realize that they're going to rifle through every quarterback on their roster.
Yeah.
And it was going to be Mason Rudolph that would get him in the playoffs.
Off the street.
No, he's been on their roster.
Was he on the practice squad then?
Yeah, he's been with them the whole time.
I didn't realize he was still. Okay. I know he's been, around.
He had slipped to the third. But,
yeah, he's been around.
He's been with them, but I didn't think Mason Rudolph. I just didn't trust Kenny Pickett.
No, right, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
But it goes back to the first thing we talked about, and that's organizations. How do the Packers keep figuring it out at quarterback?
It's sickening.
That somehow they've got a good enough organization somewhere that sees this stuff and has been able to narrow that down. The Pittsburgh Steelers are a great organization. Now, does it always equal playoff wins and Super Bowl wins? And well, maybe not. But there's no way in the world you can go 20 seasons, through, and we're talking about going back to Bill Cowher now, 20 seasons without a losing record in the NFL. That's ridiculous. That's almost impossible. They build the league
so it's not almost. It feels impossible, but he's done it.
They build the league so you can't really do that.
Yeah.
It's designed so that you go through ebbs and flows, and they've bucked all of that. And, so what they're doing is really strange. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't even matter. The Steelers are the outlier. Apply the rules to everybody else. The Steelers, well, I don't know about what they look like. Don't. Just go with it. Just decide, they're going to win more games they're going to lose.
The reason it's so hard every year, the reason we did this all season, and it was fun, and you guys played along, and we appreciated it.
We do.
Is the Texans were going to be viewed as a joke this season. No matter how much you like their draft picks, it's like, it's got to take time to develop. The Houston Texans are in the second round of the playoffs.
They are.
Second round of the playoffs.
Yeah.
The Cleveland Browns, who have done nothing but suffer and suffer and suffer and suffer. They played 5 quarterbacks this year.
Yeah.
And they went to the playoffs.
They did.
So you got the Browns, you have the Texans.
Yes.
And you've got the Lions.
Yeah.
In the second round of the playoffs. Second round.
Well, the Browns are not, but
no, the Lions.
The Lions, yes.
So I'm saying you've got the Texans in the second round of the playoffs.
Yes.
You've got the Browns.
Yes.
That were in the playoffs. The Lions in the second round of the playoffs.
Yes. Okay.
The Packers in the second round of the playoffs.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
No one viewed and the Rams made it back quick.
Yes.
They won the Super Bowl. They fell off.
Yep.
And right back at it.
Yep.
By the way, this Puka Nacua,
who?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. 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 Yes. I understand.
Are you kidding me?
Out of nowhere. Like, again, where did they find him? What was it, 5th round? 4th round?
Yeah.
Yeah.
5th round.
5th round.
The Titans took Josh Wiley in the 5th round. He was 30 picks before Puka Nacua.
But Darren, if they had chosen Puka Nacua and he had come here, do you really think?
No, absolutely. He would. You know what he would look like? Lavelle Hawkins.
Well, he would look like Wiley.
Josh Wiley.
He would look like Josh Wiley.
Fill in the blank of any receiver, basically outside of Drew Bennett, Derek Mason, Nate Washington. Man,
well,
that's about it.
We both know that guys like Derek Mason, especially, were complete surprises. They were not brought here.
Yeah, he was a 4th round pick
to do well. Yeah, yes, he was.
Drew Bennett was undrafted.
But both of those guys were huge. Like, they can do what kind of surprises on that roster. They had other guys in front of them that were supposed to be the guy. The Titans drafted Joey Kent. He was supposed to be everything that Derek Mason turned out to be.
Oh, it's not for lack of trying.
Yeah.
Kendall Wright was 1st round.
Yes.
Kenny Britt was 1st round. Do you want to go down the 1st round receivers?
We don't have to,
right?
but yes.
We know.
Yes.
It's not good.
No.
None of Corey Davis. none of it's good. So would he look like that? No. My guess is Puka Nacua in the Titans offense would have had 32 catches for 479 yards and a couple scores.
You know,
That's what he would have.
I looked it up this weekend. Do you know Zay Flowers has more receptions and touchdowns and yards in 1 year than Traylon Burks does in 2?
Yeah.
And
Traylon Burks first round pick.
But that's why I was looking at, because Traylon Burks was also a first-round guy. And we were having that debate last week about Zay Flowers versus Peter Skoronsky. And I was just thinking, well, what would have happened if they brought Zay Flowers here?
Nothing.
And now,
Same thing.
and now you have to question to yourself, well, what would Traylon Burks look like somewhere else? What would Traylon Burks look like in Baltimore?
I will say this.
And I don't know the answer to that question.
Hold on. That's a great question, because I've thought about this. They've just missed, Justin. It's not like, look, it's the system here. We know.
Yes.
It's the system they've been running here.
Yes.
For the 25 years they've been in existence in Nashville.
Basically the same system.
Okay, like all the best receivers, they're gonna. We can just keep going on the list.
We can.
We can just go, well, that guy would have 36 catches this year. That guy may have had 43. It wouldn't be anything.
It goes all the way back to the very founding.
Yes.
To if that's where you're going. It goes all the way back to Kevin Dyson and Randy Moss. The way back there.
But with that being said, Kevin Dyson, another one, first-round pick.
Yes.
How many of these receivers, and we could go on and on, not just first round, second round, third round, fourth round, fifth round. They've been throwing darts at receivers for a long time. How many went on to go explode somewhere else? A.J. Brown is the only one I can think of. Justin McCarron's didn't do squat with the Jets. They all Kendall.
Derek Mason did well with the Ravens after he left.
No, Derek Mason for sure.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Derek Mason, A.J. Brown. Who went on?
But Derek Mason is a borderline Hall of Famer.
Derek Mason
as well.
belongs in the Hall of Fame.
I believe he does as well. But he's
because you cannot ignore his special teams.
He's certainly on the doorstep there. But anyway,
so how many went on to blow up somewhere else? They all went on somewhere else. How many of them blew up?
Outside of Derek Mason, none of them.
The Jets gave Corey Davis $10 million.
No.
Nothing.
No.
Retired.
No, it didn't work.
Justin McCarron's went to the Jets.
Yeah,
didn't do anything.
It didn't work out there either.
We can go on. Who left? Who left and went on?
Drew Bennett. Where'd he go to? The Texans?
Rams.
He went to the Rams.
Paid him a ton of money.
Yeah, it didn't work out there.
Didn't work out.
No, it didn't.
You see what I
work
mean?
out. Yeah,
like
I understand.
I understand what you're saying. Like it's easy to blame the system because the system deserves to be blamed. But if that were the case, if it was just the system, they would have went on somewhere else.
Well,
and they would have exploded. Derek Mason and A.J. Brown on a truckload of receivers that we've seen come through here. Nobody else has gone on and did squat anywhere else.
Then explain Josh Reynolds and Khalif Raymond, who are still playing playoff football.
Yeah. Now, those guys have been just fine in Detroit.
Yes.
Josh Reynolds.
They're not Hall of Fame guys.
But those are good examples. Those belong in those. They belong on the Josh Reynolds especially belongs on that list.
Yeah, Khalif Raymond made a nice catch in the game.
Yep.
And when they called his name, I was like, oh yeah, there he is.
Yeah. No, those guys belong on that list. Now
First down, Detroit.
Not Derek Mason, A.J. Brown.
No.
But have been productive.
Very productive.
Pieces.
Very productive. No question about it.
Productive pieces. But the answer is, Justin, nobody else.
But they're not one or twos either.
They've just been missing on receivers. They cannot pick a wide receiver. They can't.
But they have
awful.
Real quick, just to button up that point on them, on those two in particular, on Khalif Raymond and Josh Reynolds, they were not being asked in Detroit to be one or twos there. They're being asked to play roles there.
Correct.
They are 3s and 4s there and being asked to play key roles and make key receptions, which they do.
Mm-hmm.
They do that very well there. It is St. Brown who is their number one there in Detroit, unquestioned. And I think they've got another one who's I'm drawing a blank on right now, who's their other main receiver. But the Titans, I think, at times have asked.
Well, they drafted the kid from Alabama. He has a Jameson Williams. He hasn't been great.
Well,
okay.
Yeah.
But they drafted him to be.
The Titans, I think, at times have asked guys who are really number 3 and 4s.
By the way, when Detroit took Amon St. Brown in the 4th round, that was the same round. He was taken after the Titans took the receiver from Louisville,
Des Fitzpatrick. Yeah.
That's who the Titans took. The Titans took Des Fitzpatrick in the same round before the Lions took Amon St. Brown.
But again,
you see what I mean?
If they took Amon St. Brown, though, I mean,
I know,
yes.
but I'm saying all these guys would just look like Des Fitzpatrick, which was nothing.
Yeah, a practice squad guy.
They drafted the kid 3rd round from Western Kentucky. Nothing.
But what was their vision for him when he got here?
Speed.
Nothing.
Did nothing.
To do what with?
Couldn't catch the ball. That was his problem. Couldn't catch the ball.
Yeah. It's a scheme issue, which I think now that we're going to move on from Derrick Henry. But, we kept saying this, and we've talked about this before now that Derrick Henry, we're going to take a break because we got to get defense. But we talked about this as people are moving on from Derrick Henry. And, again, you and I, the great thing about this show is we have the opportunity to look behind us here. We thought once Eddie George had left the team and it became Steve McNair's team that the offense would be more wide open. And it was for just a little bit.
Smidge.
And then they found another great running back, and then it went back. And then Chris Johnson left the team. We thought, okay, we can open things up. Then they couldn't find a quarterback. Then we got Derrick Henry, and then we went back to,
Because they've been hitting on running backs.
They've been hitting on the running backs.
They've been hitting with Hall of Fame running backs.
And so now, you think, okay, Derrick Henry's finally going to leave this team. So maybe now they can open things up. Well, will they? And for how long? And then what happens if they draft another all-world guy or fall across one?
You talking about running back?
Yeah. What happens if you get somebody in here and he looks like Eric Dickerson or he looks like Barry Sanders? What happens then? Now what we doing now?
Yep. All right, we'll come back. Head to Knoxville. We'll talk to our buddy Vince Farrar. We'll do the next.
And now for today's winning Cash 3 and Cash 4 numbers from the Tennessee Lottery. The first number is the number you just thought of. The second number is the number you would have picked. The third number is the day of your wedding anniversary. And the fourth number
They're only lucky numbers if you decide to play them. Cash 3 and Cash 4 only from the Tennessee Lottery. Game-changing fun. Please play responsibly.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And in the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. The crazy thing is, this never ends. Even when you die, your family's now going to be stuck with this burden. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
Your brain is an amazing thing. But as you get older, it naturally begins to change, causing a lack of sharpness or even trouble with recall. Thankfully, the breakthrough in Prevagen helps your brain and actually improves memory. The secret is an ingredient originally discovered in jellyfish. Based on a clinical study of subgroups of individuals who are cognitively normal or mildly impaired, Prevagen has been shown to improve memory. A Pharmacy Times National Survey of Pharmacists rated Prevagen the #1 pharmacist-recommended memory support brand for the 5th year in a row. You can find it in the vitamin aisle in stores everywhere without a prescription. Help your memory. Try Prevagen today. Prevagen. Healthier brain, better life. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
When was the last time you did something fun with family, friends, coworkers, and clients? What if I told you about a place under one roof that offers affordable entertainment for all ages? That's what you'll find at Strike and Spare Family Fun Centers in Donaldson, Hermitage, Tusculum, Hendersonville, and Murfreesboro with bowling, games, food, drink, and entertainment for all ages. Enjoy an enhanced experience in Hendersonville or Murfreesboro where they feature additional fun with bumper cars, laser tag, roller skating, and more. All locations are open 7 days a week, including holidays. Visit online at strikeandspare.com. Strike and Spare, where fun is bowling.
The TSU men's basketball squad came through a challenging non-conference schedule with a winning record and now turned their attention to Ohio Valley Conference play. The Tigers kicked off a run of 18 league games over a 9-week period through February, leading the OVC Championships March 6th to the 9th at the Ford Center in Evansville. And part of that, 9 league home games at the Gentry Center. Hello, this is Greg Pogue inviting you to join longtime TSU broadcaster Albert Dawson and me on all the games this season right here on Nashville Sports Radio.
You're listening to The McFarland Show live on WNSR Nashville Sports Radio.
We're live in the Strikers Bear Family Fun Center studio on this Wednesday afternoon. Hope everybody is safe and sound. Darren and Justin here with you. DJ Damon is alongside as well. You can watch the show every day on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. If you go to YouTube and in the search put in WNSR Live, one word, you can find us, and you can also communicate with us on there as well. You can leave us comments. We'll read them. We'll interact with you there. Let's interact with our next guest, Vince Ferrara, the sports animal there in Knoxville. Vinny, how we doing?
Good. Not on video, Vince Ferrara.
Not on video. Nope.
Maybe one day.
But you've been on video before, many times in your career.
Yeah, just not with you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, you got to keep climbing up the ladder to status. There's levels to this game. So maybe one day we'll get up to you guys.
Like Gerard Mayo. He has climbed up the ladder in New England. Nice
How about
segue,
that?
huh? Patriots, new head coach, youngest head coach in the National Football League, Gerard Mayo.
37, and call him Baby Belichick or Gerard Belichick for nothing. He earned that spot, and he was a coach on the field for them. And a lot of people, it was before my time at Tennessee, but a lot of people that I've talked to and heard from said that you could tell that he was a future coach when he was at Tennessee, and just a no nonsense guy to get the job done, and he did, and terrific player and motivator, leader of men, those kind of things. Certainly you guys, he relates to players. You guys there in Nashville know that you got to do more than relating to players. So what kind of staff he puts together, how different things are run post Belichick there, and that transition, the selecting of players, something else you guys are very aware of there in Nashville that's so important, and put together a team. So it will be a challenge to rebuild that and follow the legend on the GOAT on top of that. So we'll see. It's terrific for him from a career standpoint to be in just one organization in his coaching career and get that opportunity and not have it be a wide open parade of a bunch of coaches coming in for interviews. But he's got the people skills and the intellect to give himself a chance. We'll see if some of those other things that he needs and has to put together in the organization are there for him to where it leads to success.
Yeah, this last segment, we were a little late. Sorry, we got caught up on horrible wide receiver. How many times they've missed at wide receiver? You're talking about the draft. And one of those was Justin Hunter. They drafted in the second round, did not work out. But he's just on a list of about 4 pages of receivers that didn't work out with the Titans. So, but there was a lot of hope.
Guys they didn't draft that they could have drafted.
Yeah, we did that. That's what we were doing. Yeah, that's what we were doing. Yeah, that's what we were doing.
Some Travis Kelce in there.
Amon St. Brown. They took Des Fitzpatrick.
Keenan Allen was there.
Puka Nacua. They took Josh Wiley this past draft. 30 picks before Puka Nacua in the same round.
Yeah.
But in fairness, Puka Nacua would have looked like Des Fitzpatrick here. He would have had like 30 catches and 400 yards. So anyway.
Well, here's the thing too, with 5th round picks, once you get into later round picks, like those teams passed on that player too now a bunch of times. Like people talk about that with Trey Smith. People talk about it with Brock Purdy. 49ers still drafted him last in the draft. So yes, at least they did it then, but they probably took some long snappers or some reserve offensive linemen didn't work out before that. So it's never going to be perfectly right, but yeah, it's not a great look when it happens as frequently as it has happened there.
Well, there's a reason why the Chiefs have been going to Super Bowls. And when I get, you can say Mahomes, but you do have to have other pieces. And, this is a prime example of, Trey Smith, 6th round pick. Pick. And he's been a starter the whole time. And he's in the Titans' backyard.
It's ridiculous.
There's a really, really smart Chief scout who knows the area pretty well. He probably had something to do with it. But again, why did the Titans 6th round?
Well,
and he's been playing the whole time with the Chiefs in their backyard.
There's a picture of him and Mike Vrabel at the Senior Bowl, head to head. Vince, you know the picture I'm talking about. You've seen it. Yeah. It's they're down on the ground, literally together, showing. They're showing he's getting some coaching in.
Coaching him up.
Absolutely. Right there. I mean, he doesn't know who he is or something. Of course, he knows. They know.
I mean,
guys, I'm sorry, real quick. Look at the 8 teams that are left in the playoffs right now, playing in the divisional round this weekend. One after another, teams that draft great.
Yep.
Some of them that haven't been in the playoffs for a while, that have been drafting great as of late, now that put themselves as contenders because of the way they have drafted. You just can't miss in the NFL. You're not Alabama where you can just keep signing 5 stars and then a few fall off. No big deal.
No, 100%. Look, rather than worry about catchphrases like collaboration, maybe just start drafting players that work. They're good. That would help rather than drafting bust after bust after bust after bust. And to your point, that's exactly right. Look at these teams. And the Lions have actually been killing it in the draft. Killing it. And look where, in the second round of the playoffs. So, I'll tell you what, the Vols, I didn't know anything about Dallas Connect. Nothing. Where do you come from? Northern Colorado, Northern California, Northern Dakota, somewhere north. Some state or whatever school with a north in it. And this guy he's ridiculous, Vince. I mean, what a performance last night. What a performance that, by the way, heck of a comeback win against Georgia on Saturday. Yeah. I did not think they were going to win. They were really good in the first half, and they came out in the second half and looked horrible. And I was like, they're going to lose. This is going to be the tale of two halves. And that was a great win. Dalton Connect is amazing. Honestly, I think he may be the best player in the country. Am I just a little too caught up in this?
Well, he's one of the better offensive players. There are some really good overall players, and it's not like he is going to be picked number 1 in the draft or anything. But
no, because he's 6'6", but he plays a lot bigger than that.
Yes, and he does so many things exceptional. I've heard him. They did a podcast, and he was described as a shooter. Come on now. He's not a spot-up shooter. He is a all-around. He's a scorer. He's an all-around player, and he has been phenomenal. He scored 36 against Georgia and then followed it up with a career-high 39 in last night's win. And you're right. They started out great against Georgia, and then in the middle really struggled, and then were able to find a way and close it out. And Rick Barnes was criticized for so long in how he would just run that motion offense. He wouldn't let offensive players be offensive players. And then all he has done with Dalton Connect is dial in and is dial him up when they need stops. It's been unbelievable. And when they're falling behind and they need to make up deficits or stop those struggles offensively that plagued them, as you know, in the NCAA tournament and over the last couple of years in the regular season, and just a completely different story this time around. So here's what Dalton Connect has done historically, what he did last night. He's the first Tennessee player with back-to-back games of 35 points or more in back-to-back games since Allen Houston. He's the only SEC player to drop 35-plus in back-to-back games in the last 25 seasons. And he scored 103 points over of this last three-game stretch. Chris Lofton held the previous record since 2006 when he scored 89 in three straight games, and Connect just zoomed right by that. I mean, he finishes at the rim. He takes contact but still tries to score off of that. He goes, Jimmy Dykes was talking about in the broadcast, he can drive left, he can drive right. In fact, he drives equal, both. And he can dribble with both hands. So you don't know where he's going. You can't scheme him defensively. Tennessee is the best screening and pick and roll team I've seen in college basketball this year. So he can not only run around screens with their great bigs that are threats to roll and score themselves, but then he can rise up with his quick shot and length and high release. He's a virtually impossible cover right now, and Tennessee at times rides him, and Barnes is letting him be who he is while still coaching him hard. I've been there. He gets on him for every little mistake if he doesn't box out or loses a guy through a screen or whatever. They are on him, but he wanted to get coached hard by Barnes, who's made him a better defender, not an elite defender, and in essence, it's also made him a tougher, better offensive player, because he's held accountable there, and they put their best defenders on him to force him to be great, to where at times it's easy for him in the games, the way he has to get defended in practice. It really is incredible how he has blossomed into a first-round pick since coming to Tennessee.
If Rick Barnes wants to change the narrative that's haunted him for decades, he needs to let that kid loose in the NCAA tournament and just let him go. Let him fly. Tell everybody to hang on for dear life. And if it doesn't work, then you could say, well, I put our best foot forward. But I know they've got other players. Adu's been playing well. He had a good game last night. But that's your cat right there. That's the guy that can win you games in the tournament. Rick Barnes, if he wants to change this narrative, he might want to lean on this kid and just turn him loose in the tournament.
But Darren, here's the thing, and you're not wrong. And they're still going to try to get everybody involved, and that's another scary thing about this team is there's plenty of guys that haven't really been at their best, that they're still winning games without a lot of their really good veteran players playing at a high level. So there's upside there. But when they need him, Rick Barnes does. He scraps it all. Runs isolation. He brings the ball up the court. I mean, it's LeBron James, basically, it's a LeBron takeover with Dalton Connect. And he gets it done when they've had to dial that up. They don't want to have to rely on that and put that on him. But that is a difference. They haven't had anyone that could do that in years past. Now they do. Now they also have, you mentioned Adu, they have low post scoring. They haven't had that since Grant Williams. Adu has developed into a terrific low post player. And now they have two things they have not had in any of Barnes' team since that Grant Williams, Admiral Schofield team. So they got to stay healthy, because that's another thing that Barnes his teams have had is a key injury, like Ziegler last year, Kyle Alexander. Every year somebody's missing. So they can be healthy, and they've got those two elements. They will have a different traits to bring to the table in the tournament. But you got to win games regardless. I get it.
Vince, let me help out Damon King over here, because every day he comes in and he's talking about Tennessee and the portal, and they got rid of this 4-star, but they're bringing in this 5-star. And I don't understand why this 4-star went over here, but it's okay because there's other 4-stars coming in over here. So can you talk to us about the portal additions and the targets and all of that from your standpoint here? What are you seeing? What's real? What's fake out there as far as the shaping of this football roster?
Well, it's been minus 11 in terms of portal exits from scholarship players. The most recent Tennessee player that found a new home was Gerald Mincey, who was slated to be, again, their starting right tackle next year. He visited Oxford and Lane Kiffin, but he committed to Kentucky this week. So 10 of the 11 players that are outgoing to hit the portal from Tennessee have found new homes, 4 to the SEC, 3 to the ACC, and the only one that hasn't so far is Brandon Turnage, and I do think he will find a spot because those DBs and corners are coveted. The 6 coming in, they added another tight end from Alabama, reserve one that is more of a blocker, and Miles Kitzelman. So he's the second tight end in the portal, along with Holden Stays from Notre Dame, was the number 1 tight end in the portal rankings. They brought in 2 corners, and Jermon McCoy from Oregon State, and the most recent one, Jalen McMurray from Temple, Chris Brazel, wide receiver from Tulane. Of course, you guys know about Jacoby Thomas there from Middle. So they brought in good players, and overall I think they've done a good job. And then what they're still looking for, they have got to get at least 1 offensive tackle, maybe 2. They're still open to an interior offensive lineman, could bring in more in the secondary. But the biggest guy that's out there is Lance Hurd. He's a former 5-star that left after his freshman year at LSU. And Tennessee, we're anticipating a decision from him. Those recruiting analysts that cover it on a daily basis thought it'd be last week he would make a decision. He is not. Probably a Tennessee-Oklahoma decision for him. So we'll see. I know Austin Price from VolQuest said he would not be surprised if it's Tennessee that he selects. Those guys are following it more intensely than I am. But I know they have got to add to that tackle position. They've got to protect Nico, and they need it with a high-talent player at tackle that they don't have to help with tight ends and backs and other guys.
Hope you guys are safe and sound in Knoxville. I don't know how much snow you got. What'd you get?
Probably 9-ish inches.
Wow.
Maybe. Yeah, today for the first time I finally got snowed off my car. So whenever I do leave, because I have been snowed in, our complex parking area is a wreck. I live on a hill, so there's no sliding down safely. So I've been doing shows from home and been hunkered down, and we'll see when I can leave and be normal again. But it's cold, man. It was 1 degree this morning during my show. You guys know it. It's been crazy.
Yeah, definitely. Vinny, thanks as always. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
And we'll talk next week.
All right. Sounds good. You guys be safe and warm.
All right. You too. Vince Ferrara, 99.1 The Sports Animal there in Knoxville. We'll come back. We're wide open the rest of the hour, 615-844-5600. If you want to get involved as you listen to The McFarland Show on Nashville Sports Radio.
And now, the fine folks at The Fenceman are on the air reminding motorists to slow down on our roads, keep an eye out for kids at play, and never text and drive. It can wait. This message is courtesy of The Fenceman, your local fence builder for over 35 years. Call Johnny today for all your fencing needs at 615-498-0492. 615-498-0492. The Fenceman, the professionals who care. In Tennessee, 967,430 people struggle with hunger, and 295,570 of them are children. That's 1 in 7 who struggle with hunger, and 1 in 5 are children. People who are hungry are not necessarily living on the streets. They may be in your child's classroom, in your neighborhood, or just down the street. In addition, many of these people live in food deserts, which are areas more than 10 miles from the nearest grocery store. Often there are limited resources to get food, and the only option is fast food or convenience markets. While processed food may help with hunger pangs, it provides little to no nutrition. What began in 2008 as a dream to buy land, grow food, and give it away has recently developed into a way to serve and impact more individuals in the community. God has blessed our mission to be a healthy food source to those in need so much, By Faith Farm had to create a nonprofit to continue meeting the need in the community on a larger scale. Visit ByFaithFarm.com to get involved. That's ByFaithFarm.com.
Gas, groceries, utilities, you name it, the price of everything is going up, and if you're stuck in a bad timeshare with rising maintenance fees, The financial burden can be crushing. It is time to get your finances in order and get the real facts about that timeshare that you are stuck in and your options to get rid of it. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has been helping families out of horrible timeshares for over 10 years and has put together a complete timeshare exit information kit that he will send you absolutely free. To date, over 30,000 families have trusted Wesley Financial Group to help them out of financial hardship by getting them out of bad timeshares. Get the facts about how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation. Simply call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit and see how you can become timeshare free. Call 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. Once again, 800-462-3333.
With 13 locations nationally, including Smyrna, Star Leasing Company is a semi-trailer one-stop shop and the perfect place to build a career as a semi-trailer mechanic. Seeking candidates with all levels of experience, Star Leasing Company has a semi-trailer technician trainee program with sign-on and quarterly bonuses and other opportunities such as $1,000 for having a yearly physical. Package also includes 401k with company match, health, dental, and vision insurance, competitive pay with weekly paychecks, and paid holidays and time off. Star Leasing Company, not your typical semi-trailer leasing company. Visit starleasing.com to learn more.
Hey, it's John Burton from News Channel 5 and the Greg Pogue and John Burton Show.
And I'm former All-Pro linebacker for the Tennessee Titans, also known as Mr. Monday Night, Keith Bullock.
And I'm Patton Cook. We're inviting you to join us every Saturday morning from 10 to 11 for What's Good with KB and JB, the podcast show.
All live on Nashville Sports Radio and all streaming platforms.
We talk Titans, we talk SEC football, we talk NBA, we talk everything, and we also get a little petty from time to time.
Make sure you join us.
You're listening live from the Strike and Spare Studios, downtown Music City. It's the McFarland Show.
You'll probably hear this in Detroit this weekend when the Lions host the Bucks. He was present. He was in a seat. He wasn't in a suite.
No.
Looked like he was just in the stands.
Yeah. And he's not
I'm like, Eminem's just in the stands?
He's not a guy who's just caught on lately either. Like, he's a for real fan.
Yeah.
Like, he can sit down and talk Lions football with you. Like, he goes back with the team.
Yeah, they should probably have him do that song right there. Like live when they come out.
He did it last week, I think.
Did he do that when they came out?
Well, I don't know if he came out. He had a video. You know, they do a production
No, I'm not talking about video. I'm talking about like him bring out the team.
Not live.
Doing that live.
I think you want to wait for the NFC Championship
game. You
want
to bring down the house?
You want to wait for the NFC Championship
Justin, you
game.
can't. First of all, they wouldn't have the home. They wouldn't have a home game.
Well, that's true.
Unless Green Bay wins.
Could.
Green Bay can win. But you can't. You cannot count your eggs. You got to win the next one in front of you.
You would think.
So bring out everything. Bring out all the stops. That they blow the roof off if he came out, like literally bringing them out on the field, like singing that live.
It would be
right.
That would be something. That would be that would be intense for Detroit. Yes, it would. It would turn it up a notch.
I would think so.
Turn it up another notch.
615-844-5600. Let's go to Smyrna, Tennessee. Frank is up next.
Hey, Frank.
What's going on?
Hey, Darren. Hey, Justin. How you doing?
Great.
All right.
How are you?
Good. Well, full disclosure, I'm actually in Siesta Key, Florida.
Oh, wow.
Well, good for you.
Thanks for rubbing that in.
It's certainly not the weather you normally have down here in the month of January, but a lot of clouds, a lot of rain here lately. Today was sunny, but only in the low 60s.
Only in the low 60s. Only.
Yeah, no complaints here. Daughter's holding down the fort there in Tennessee for me and for me and my wife. And, we're just enjoying seeing everybody's pictures and, of what I supposedly missed. But, I dealt with it for years growing up in Tennessee and all that. I'm over all that.
Yeah, you've been there, done that. I got you, Frank.
Been there, done it. I know what I'm missing, and it's not much. But, I was down here, I arrived here Friday night, and a friend of mine down here texted me and said, hey, You want to go to the Buccaneers Eagles game as a fan of the sport Monday night? I went. I'd love to. Went on the secondary market. I bought tickets on the front row of the upper deck at Raymond James Stadium. Only $140 a ticket.
Yeah,
that's it.
It's not bad at all.
And, and me and him went to the game, and I had a complete blast. It, just as a fan of the sport, I will admit I wore a Titans shirt and a Buccaneers hat because I just.
Did anybody say anything to you?
Yeah, a few people did. Just in good fun. They said, "You want to see what a winner looks like?" I said,
okay.
"Yeah, I want to see what a playoff team looks like." It's been 2 years. I forgot what it looked like. I said, "I want to see what a home team winning a playoff game looks like." It's been so long, I don't remember what that looks like. And
they're a little full of themselves down at Tampa. They've been doing a lot of parades lately between the hockey team and the football team.
Oh, and I have heard about it too. And, it was a big party atmosphere. I know you guys, I'm sure you watched the game. I did see an Indian Eagles fan, one threw ice, another one dumped a tub of popcorn on Nick Sirianni as he left the field.
That went viral, and he was booted.
Yes.
He was booted out of the stadium. I don't know what happened, but the game was over, right? I mean, so
the game was over.
I don't know what they were going to do.
A couple of security guards went in the stands after.
Yeah, they chased
him
after
down.
him. Yep.
Yeah, they chased him down. I don't know what happened after that, but whether who knows.
He also had some choice words for Sirianni too.
Yeah,
when he threw the popcorn.
We figured he was not wishing him a good off season.
No, it wasn't.
What we all kind of figured. The Eagles fans, they were civil. Honestly, they were, but of course they never led in the game either. And and I credit Tampa's fans for showing up. There was nowhere near that much green, not like I thought.
Interesting.
So, yeah, it was just really fun to go to the game as a fan of the sport. I'm the sports fan that just really enjoys doing that from time to time, and this is no different. Now, traffic getting in and out of there, if you're familiar with Tampa, yeah, okay. Getting out was bad. Getting in was horrible if you're familiar with the Tampa area. You know what I'm talking about.
Did the cannons startle you, Frank? When the cannons fired, did it startle you? Did it I wasn't expecting that. You were ready for it. Okay.
Not at all. I was ready for it.
Okay.
And I also went to the Titans when the Titans played there in November.
So this is not your first game. Okay.
No, I'd gone. I went to that game that day, and
there was a video where I guess ESPN was there on set, and they were testing them earlier in the day, and they were firing them, and it scared the out of them.
I understand it's not scary.
They did it like 8 times in a row.
It just startles you because you're not expecting it.
Yes.
Because, cannon fire is not something you hear every day.
It's not normal.
No.
Unless you... And they even fired them when on the long touchdown pass. I forget the receiver that caught it. I don't think it was Evans, but anyway, they replayed it on the stadium Megatron there, or the stadium replay board, and they had the call of Gene Deckerhoff, the play-by-play guy for the Bucs.
Sure.
And he always yells, "Fire the cannons!" Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Well, they fired him again. I'm just showing the replay. That was kind of neat. But it's a good atmosphere. What a playoff game ought to be. The fans, I think the Buccaneer fans, honestly, were pleasantly shocked at their team's performance.
Yeah.
I felt like the Buccaneers were going to win. I didn't think it'd be that easy.
Yeah.
They just absolutely beat the
I did not. Frank,
we got to go.
We got to run to our final break, but enjoy your time down there. Thanks for calling in, and we'll talk soon.
Yep. Absolutely. That sounds great, guys. Y'all stay safe up there.
All
Be
right.
careful.
Thank you,
Frank.
Take our final break, come back, and wrap up Wednesday's edition of The McFarland Show next.
In a single moment, everything can change. When a player's sudden cardiac event brought a national football game to a halt, it shone a spotlight on the importance of CPR readiness. Now, with youth sports in full swing, the American Heart Association is rallying parents and coaches to be ready in an emergency. To be ready, learn hands-only CPR. It's a skill anyone can learn in minutes. Visit heart.org/hands-only CPR and become a lifesaver today.
It seems like everywhere you look right now, someone is sick. This year, prepare your family for airborne invaders like bacteria, pollen, and yes, germs with Navage Nasal Care. Navage flushes ultra-pure, refreshing saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out of the other nostril. Navage sucks out viruses, dust, and other airborne particles, all the stuff that gets trapped in your nose, making you miserable. Don't get caught empty-handed this winter. Get Navage, the drug-free solution that helps you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier. Even better, Navage is HSA, FSA eligible, so Navage is a great way to spend those funds before they expire. Don't wait a minute longer. Buy Navage today and you'll breathe easier knowing you're putting your funds to good use. Navage is available online at Navage.com or Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Susan, it's so great to finally be able to get together again.
Oh, it sure is. And I really appreciate you picking up the bill.
I'm happy to. I've got the extra cash. Since we've all been driving so much more again, I've been using Upside, the free app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back just for buying the gas I was going to buy anyway.
But is it a hassle to use?
No, it's super fast and easy, and I can cash out whenever I want.
That's a total no-brainer. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code LIFT for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's promo code LIFT. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code LIFT for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code LIFT.
And now, Musgrove Metal Fabrication and Roofing is reminding motorists to slow down on our roadways, keep an eye out for kids at play, and never text and drive. This message is brought to you by Musgrove Metal Fabrication and Roofing, backed by 45 years of experience. For all your residential or commercial metal and shingle roofing needs, give the pros a call today at 615-414-8466. 615-414-8466. That's Musgrove Metal Fabrication and Roofing, going the extra mile for safety. They're professionals who care.
This is the Greg Vogue and John Burton Show.
Just start with Vrabel being fired. Your initial reaction.
Called it, felt it coming for weeks now, if not months. Not surprised. That's my reaction.
I thought he got himself fired.
How so?
Just by being Mike Vrabel.
Yeah.
I think if he really, really wanted to be the coach here, he would be.
I agree with you 100%.
Greg Vogue and News Channel 5's John Burton. WNSR. Nashville Sports Radio.
The McFarland Show. Video streaming live on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube from the Strike and Spare studio.
I watched the final episode of Hard Knocks last night.
Okay.
Because they actually did it all the way through. I wasn't sure if they were going to do it through the playoff game in Kansas City. By the way, sidebar.
Yeah.
I thought about it all week last week when we were doing our shows. Because, you've heard me talk about how much we spend on, our cable bill. It's like, golly, man.
Yeah.
Spend too much money. I love watching TV, love the sports, and I even love venturing into other stuff on television, movies and whatever.
Sure.
Shows that I've got, silly ghost shows and stuff like that. But spend too much money. So I just thought about it. I was like, man, we just keep spending. We're spending too much money on all these options. So I just decided.
What'd you decide?
So I was like, I'm out. I'm not buying it.
You're out of what?
I'm not buying Peacock. I'm not doing it.
Oh, you weren't doing Peacock.
Like everybody, they're like, we got a year special, $32, $29.99 for the year. Well, guess what?
So you missed out on the excitement that was the Kansas City Miami Dolphins game?
I had a buddy call me and said, I've got Xfinity too. He's like, you should be able to get it for free. Well, we were supposed to, according to being in the awards club or whatever.
Sure.
It didn't work.
Oh, dear.
So we didn't pay for it. We didn't watch it.
Okay.
I boycotted.
Well,
guess what?
The game went on and the sun came up.
Yeah, I wasn't in the minority because apparently they set all-time stream records. So...
Well, good. Good for them.
I didn't bucking trend. They're like, okay, fine. Well, there's 23 million people that did.
They replayed it on NFL Network an hour later, and I replayed it.
It
was fine.
All right, that's going to do it for our show. Remain safe out there. Bill Keane will get things started tomorrow at 6 a.m., followed by Greg and John, 9 to 11, and us at 2 o'clock. We'll see you then.